Cuba, it's me. Welcome to episode 245 of the W.I.L.L.I.W show, which stands for Wrestling is Life. Life is Wrestling. Today I wanted to review the NXT Takeover Wargames from last night. I'm sure a lot of you saw that, and there was a lot of great stuff on there. So I'll just go through it and tell you what I think, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, so don't go on me too hard. So the first match, Cassius Ohno versus Lars Sullivan. I've never seen this Lars guy before. He looks like they could be doing something right with him with the booking. Good for them to put him in with Cassius Ohno. He made him look really good and really strong. The crowd really didn't seem that into this match, but I felt like they got the story out of it as they were trying to make this Lars guy look really strong. And they did that, and I thought it was a pretty decent match. Like I said, I had never seen the other guy before. I don't usually watch the NXT weekly program, and I was pretty impressed by what they both did. It was just a hard-hitting match. They didn't do a lot of big moves, which is good. They didn't take away from the other matches on the card. And second was the Velveteen Dream versus Aleister Black. Now, I have never seen the Velveteen Dream, but I do remember him from being on Tough Enough, and wow. See, I saw a couple pictures, like posts on social media of him, and I already automatically assumed I wouldn't like it. It was just like, how many times are you going to go to the well? We've seen characters like this before. So I had just assumed that I didn't like him. And I wasn't a huge Aleister Black fan either. I like how he stays in his character or whatnot, but he's got like opposite of charisma, where he's just like the quiet, dark guy. And it works. I mean, it gets over, but he doesn't seem to have a whole lot of personality. And so I was not looking forward to this match, because I mean, the match with Aleister Black and Hideo Itami at the last one I watched wasn't that great for me. It was just, let's beat each other up for real, but not even involve the crowd. Well, this one, and the crowd did help make it. Wow, I was blown away. This was the best match I've seen in wrestling in like one of the longest times. They didn't do any huge moves. They worked the whole story about him saying his name, and he wouldn't even look at him or acknowledge him, and I thought it was just so well done. There's so many memes or memes or whatever you're going to call them that are going to come out of this match. There's going to be so many GIFs, whatever they call, I don't know the slang, people. There's going to be so many instant replays, and so many times video packages will be used for this, and it was just so well done. The timing was great. Man, I am a huge fan of Velveteen Dream, and I felt he made Aleister Black look better than anyone else, and now I'm like a fan of Aleister Black based on Velveteen Dream making him look so amazing. Wow, what a story it told, and just so many great moments that they put, and it was perfect for the crowd to give them a chance to take it all in and bring the noise level up. And this is a match that they could tour the world and do around the horn and not get injured and have the crowd really into it no matter where they went. This match, how could anyone follow that? That was just an amazing match. It was probably the best match I've seen all year. And because I don't like a million false finishes, and I don't like some of the matches that people say are the matches of the year, well, they have 4 attitude adjustments in them, or 16 Superman punches, or 50 super kicks. Here, they did what they needed to do just enough, and it was perfect. I absolutely loved it. The third match, the women's match, I'm not that invested in any of them. I really like Nikki Cross, so I wanted her to win. I like the story of Ember Moon. They played her the underdog. It took her almost a year to win it. I was glad she won and not Peyton Royce or the Kairi Sane girl. But I thought it was well done. It felt a little rushed. Like a couple minutes in, they were already doing the German suplex into the superplex spot. So it didn't seem like they had as much time as they normally did. But everything they did looked good, and I was impressed with it. Like, what are you going to do? They had some really innovative spots, and I liked it. Some of it was a bit much, but I felt like every girl got her shine, and like the double flipping stunner thing was good. man, when she powerbombed Nikki on the outside, that was pretty stiff. And yeah, I was happy with it. But I mean, it's hard. If I would have seen that match before the Aleister Black Velveteen Dream match, maybe I would have liked it more. But I was still like amazed thinking about how great the other match was. And then, which is kind of technically the main event, it's Drew McIntyre versus Cien Almas, Andre Almas. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And I've seen him on all the takeovers, and I was, he does good work, but I wasn't a huge fan of him. And Drew McIntyre, he just hasn't gotten over with me. But one thing I will say in this match is how strong is Drew McIntyre? Impressive, like the way he was tossing that guy around. And they had some really innovative spots, the ones that I've never seen before. But for me, I was not emotionally invested in this, and they did a really good job of trying to bring me into it. Like, I got into it as much as I could have, because I honestly just wanted to play with my phone before it started, but it kept me watching the whole time. And I was really shocked when the guy won it. I was thinking after the lady helped, looks like she almost forgot that spot, to put the foot on the ropes. I was like, if he doesn't win now, then that's just overkill. And then he did win, so I was happy for that. I don't know if they were just selling it. Drew McIntyre looked like maybe he had gotten hurt a little bit, but I'm hoping that means he's going to come up to the main roster out of NXT, because I don't really think he belongs there any longer. Like, he already had his one run with WWE, then he went back to travel the world, then NXT, became NXT champion. But he's a big guy. I don't think having the NXT title really does anything for him. He's a bit of a boring wrestler, McIntyre, but he is impressive. He needs a manager, someone that could talk for him. That would be great. So it wasn't that bad of a match, but I'm glad that it wasn't the main event. I'll tell you that, because at the last Takeover, Drew McIntyre was in the main event, and all the other matches I liked better. So then is the clusterfuck, the Wargames. Really, I don't know a lot about these undisputed guys. I just know that everyone's putting them over on the internet, how great they are, and when they came at the last Takeover, it got a huge response. But I don't know much about them, and I don't really know if I like them. They look all small and stuff like that, but so you got a bunch of good guys. I really like the Authors of Pain, and so I'm glad they were in that, and then they stuck Roderick with them, and then Sanity. So it looked like it was going to be a clusterfuck, but it looked like they had, enough time that they could play it out the way they wanted, and it was the way I expected it. There was so much chaos going on, and they pretty much did everything. I honestly thought with the two rings, there's so many creative spots they could have done, but I'm not going to go on to that. It's just because in my mind, I thought of some really amazing stuff they could have done. Not saying they didn't do some. I mean, they all worked really hard. They did some really impressive spots, but some of them were just too predictable for me. And man, it was such a dangerous match. There was that time where I don't know if it was the Authors of Pain or that Killian Dane guy, but one of them threw Adam Cole from one side of the ring to the other side of the ring, and he like landed on the guy's head. I'm like, dude, like, that was dangerous. What if that guy would have moved his head up at the last second? He could have broke his neck. That German suplex through the double table spot, and the guy was bleeding after it. Just, man, that looked really dangerous too, because it looked like he hit his head on the corner of the one table. And I don't like the superplex spot. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with a lot of stuff I'm saying, but okay, for one, it's impressive to see. But then to have like 6 guys standing there waiting for them to do the suplex, like, really? If someone was going to smash someone off the top of the cage with a suplex, would you just stand there and wait for that long? Like, okay, go ahead and jump on top of me? So I didn't get it, but it was impressive, and the crowd liked it, and it got a good pop. But to me, it just didn't make sense. And then the match should have ended right then. Like, it just felt like it was dragging on at this point. The finish was real lackluster. I feel the right team won. If you're bringing these guys in, give them a big push. Sanity's already doing well for themselves. Authors of Pain better be up by Royal Rumble or WrestleMania into the main roster. But it was a really well done pay-per-view. That's what happens when you give people time to work. Like, they usually get a lot more time than even the main roster gets on the pay-per-view and stuff like that. That's why everyone's always like, oh, the NXT show was always better than the main roster one. Well, look how much time they get for some of their matches, right? But all in all, I was impressed. I really liked it, but I want to hear what you guys think. What did you like? What did you not like? Because as always, on the Willow Show, like or you get a leg drop, comment or you get a clothesline, subscribe or you get a suplex. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!